The next thing that will probably affect the market more is the release of the third quarter property price index, much awaited. Right? But then again, this time around, there wasn't a lot of news coverage on it because I guess it's not as big of an amount, as big of a number, and that's a good thing. Right? That's a good thing. You don't want the mainstream media to be shouting out this increase in property price index too much, because that's only just going to cause a lot more FOMO in the market, and then the authorities are going to come down and clamp it. So the cooling measures, not cooling measures, the property price index increased, private property price index increased by 1.1% the last quarter, up from 0.9% increase in second quarter 2021. So all in all, since second quarter of 2020, we have seen a total of 8.5% increase. And so this 8.5% seems like a big number. The next question will be, are cooling measures coming? So I did a recent video talking about it, right? I believe it's perhaps just the most immediate, most recent video. You can go and check it out. I don't think, right, I put it out there that I don't think cooling measures are coming, and I stand by that, even with this 1.1% increase in the private property price index. And let me explain why. So, a lot of you will be wanting to compare this with what happened in 2018, because we are in a very, very similar market cycle as that in 2018. So in 2018, we saw an 8.3% increase in the property price index over 4 quarters. And that resulted in July 2018 cooling measures. So of course, then if you are looking at the 8.5% versus the 8.3%, we have passed that. If you're just simply using the percentage increase as a gauge, we are past that, and you'll be afraid that maybe the government is going to come down and put cooling measures in place. So let me just show you a little bit more data to it to explain why I don't think the cooling measures are coming. Hello, sorry to interrupt. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for watching the video, and also to share why we do what we do, is to empower consumers with hard facts and figures, quality research, and real-life examples to allow them to make the most informed property decisions. So if you found our videos useful, the only thing we ask for is for you to smash that like and subscribe button so that the YouTube algorithm can push out our videos to more consumers. Thank you, and back to the video. First one I'll be looking at, okay, so all this data is out in the URA website. Let me put that into the chat, so you can go in and take a look and read it on your own. So in 2018, so the first data point that I'm looking at is the supply, pipeline supply. Okay, so notice in 2018, right? Apologies if the number is too small, you can't see it. In 2018, there is 26,961. I think I can scroll in. I don't want to scroll in. It's okay, I don't want to scroll in. Later I mess up the whole format, so let's not scroll in. There's 26,000 unsold units in the second quarter of 2018. Today, in third quarter 2021, there's only 18,721 unsold units. And if you look at the chart, it is pretty obvious. So in 2018, with the 4 consecutive quarters of price increase and an increase in supply, okay, it just doesn't make sense, okay, because supply is coming up, and assuming demand is constant, supply coming up and price coming up as well, simple economics will tell you that that doesn't make sense, or that is unsustainable. Okay, but in today's market, supply is coming down. So supply coming down, and assuming again demand is constant, it is fair that prices come up in a very simplistic economic way of looking at it lah. So, right, so how the market is performing today and why prices are going up today based on economic fundamentals, very different from where it was in 2018, right? Low developer unsold inventory. The next data point that we want to look at is the TOP supply, okay? So in 2018, right, so this TOP supply is actually the same supply, but of course it's because of COVID, this TOP all have been pushed back. But you see the jump over here, this 24,000, is the same batch of supply. So it's our Park Esta, Treasure at Tampines, Normanton Park. These are the supplies that we are looking at. So in 2018, with that huge, sharp increase in price, 8.3% over 4 quarters, the market was sitting on all this unsold inventory that was TOPing 2 to 3 years or 4 to 5 years down the road, right? 2021 from 2018 is 3 to 4 years down the road. But today, 2021, wow, we are still expecting all these projects to TOP, but these projects are going to TOP in the next 1 or 2 years. So it's the same supply, right? The supply, if you really average out, it probably is about the same amount, but this TOP supply, they are already sold. So the government don't want a lot of vacant houses, so the fact that all these houses have already been sold, that is not that big of a concern in terms of vacant houses and in terms of oversupply, right? So as a matter of fact, the market today, the fear in the market today, or our fear about the market today, is the impending undersupply. Look at post 2024. There's very, very little supply in the market. If you compare to 2018, you have supply, you have comfortable supply, 3 to 4 years visibility down the road. And the fact is that supply is very, very inelastic. You cannot just turn the supply tap on just like that, expecting a lot of TOP in 3 to 4 years. So we are going to see a huge undersupply in 2024, 2025. Then the next question is, where is the undersupply at? So for those of you who have been consistently following us, listening to us, you know where the undersupply is at. For those of you who don't, you probably want to go and watch some of our other videos, because that is one of the single biggest pockets of opportunity that we have shared with our listeners, our audience. Or if you really don't know, you probably want to pop by our webinar, which I will share more details with you later on. Yeah? Next data point that we want to look at is the vacancy rates. So this chart charts out the stock and vacancy of private residential units. You see over in 2018, it hovered at above 7%. So we are looking at figures like 10.9% vacancy in the CCR, 7.7% vacancy in the RCR, and 5% vacancy in the OCR. Today, 2021, 9.7% vacancy in the CCR, 6.5% in the RCR, and 4.8% in the OCR. So the overall vacancy rate today is in the mid 6%, so it's about the 6.5%. So it's also lower than what it used to be in 2018. So all in all, the market is in a lot more sustainable position as it was, pre whatever is happening in 2021. I can't say the word, because if I say the word, YouTube will then block my video. But we all know what happened in 2020. So yes. Conclusion: property price index have came up 1.1%. But do I think the cooling measures are coming at least in the next quarter? My answer is no. Right? What would we want to look at to determine if cooling measures are going to come? An increase in supply together with an increase in price.